Perth-Wellington.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Community and Social Services. In last year's estimates, the minister stated SAMS would have a seamless rollout. She said that no one would know there was a change taking place. Obviously, it wasn't so seamless. We raised many concerns on behalf of social assistance recipients and caseworkers. How did the minister respond? And I quote, she said, "Clearly the opposition is trying to make a mountain out of a very small molehill." Her very small molehill is now $90 million over budget and a year behind schedule. My question is simple. Why did this government sign off on a project knowing it wasn't ready for prime time?
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And as we've said many times in this House, we have acknowledged the challenges that emerged with the launch and implementation of SAMS. I immediately went to the frontline workers and saw for myself exactly what was going on. And at that point, we brought in PricewaterhouseCoopers to do an independent overview of how we should move forward. I think it's worth remembering that, of course, we on this side of the House do take the Auditor General very seriously. In 2009, she detailed a number, or the former Auditor General detailed the problems with the system that the Conservatives brought in 2002. That was the SDMT system. It was at risk of failure. The Auditor General made it very clear that we needed, on this side of the House as a government, to move forward with new technology that was appropriate and that could be sustained in the long term to help vulnerable people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the Auditor General was very clear. The government was well aware that SAMS was flawed from the get-go, but their testing was inadequate. They didn't fix the defects, and yet they proceeded blindly with a Big Bang implementation. And now that the Big Bang has blown up in their faces, but as far as we know, no one in this government has faced any consequences. Meanwhile, the most vulnerable have found their bank accounts frozen and their privacy breached. Speaker, where was the minister? Where was the oversight? For not providing it, the minister failed miserably. Speaker, will she do the right thing and resign immediately?
Thank you. Minister.
Don't be ridiculous.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I do take ministerial responsibility very, very seriously. And as soon as I became aware of the issues, I took action. We now are working the plan to transition to full functionality of SAMS. We're listening to our frontline workers who have been so useful in terms of helping us with some of the technical issues that they face. We have adopted all of the Auditor General's 5 recommendations from her most recent report. In fact, these are all part of our transition plan. We understand that there have been issues for our clients and for our workers, but we will end up with a system that will serve the people of this province, including our most vulnerable residents, extremely well.
Thank you.